Thanks, Wawer. Thanks, Wawer. Wait, can I hack? What? It wouldn't have worked. I mean, I would have unmuted it though, cause I'm a nice person. Cause so the audio, which you guys hear, except for my mic, is all from the same thing, and then there's my microphone, which is separate. So I can mute my microphone, but have the desktop audio, or vice versa. So if that happens, I would just put the audio, but not put my mic if I'm not ready. Although, to be honest, I don't even know what being ready is about. Like, you know the beginning of the stream where like I just have the starting screen? That's not the starting screen, but yeah, like this. I literally just sit there and I wait for someone to type in chat, and then I'm like, they typed, but I still don't feel like going. Let me get 30 seconds of rest, you know? And then eventually I'm like, what's up guys? Welcome back to this new stream. Yeah, I don't know why I do that. Sometimes I just have the motivation to just be like, what's up guys? Right at the beginning, but yeah. Anyways. Okay, I really hope. What's going on? Fire. Okay.
Alright, I just gotta help Odin complete the mask. But also make sure he
Oh, Atreus time, I forgot.
Easy, right? He's probably in his stuff. Hey, sorry for interrupting.
You're not interrupting anything.
I've already seen this cutscene. Shit game. Hello, Alan.
The truth will come out soon enough.
I hope it does.
I did my first workout today, Alan.
Yay!
Now I'm 7 feet tall, and I weigh 200 pounds.
Harness it.
Trust.
Heimdall's dead. Happen to know something about that? Anything?
Well, I mean...
What? I think they're like in the same family, buddy.
Sure, sure. But have you seen anything? Something noteworthy?
I mean... You know, he did sock through pretty hard while we were out. Maybe someone found out? Got even? I don't know.
Are you suggesting my son had something to do with this?
I don't know.
Oh, that's what it is, Tommy.
Honest.
Okay,
Well, I
bro.
have to ask. Never believed you had anything to do with this.
Don't bring any of these brain dead debates in here. Voila.
So, I figured out what went wrong.
What? So it's my affiliate anniversary. Man, 2 years? What, you want topics to talk about when you stream? Alright, yeah, I don't think man can be lesbian. Ooh, hot take, because, because lesbian in the definition of the word is a woman, and a man isn't a woman. Boom. Done.
Thor.
I don't know how that's transphobic.
Going to Niflheim.
I would say it's the opposite. It's transphobic to have the opposite stance. But anyways.
It's you too.
That's my perspective, you know?
Hey, Ingrid, you wouldn't happen to know where Thor is? Yeah, I figured.
Lesbian does not need to mean woman. Well, I mean, if we're gonna... So if we want to talk about a topic, we have to use words and code, right? We have to use language, which is a code to communicate what we believe in. And the word lesbian as a code in language is a woman who likes women. So lesbian does need to be a woman for us to agree on it, or needs to not be a woman. You think lesbian does not need to be a woman. I think lesbian means to be a woman, because that's how I've learned the word, and I think that's how everyone uses the word. So we just disagree about the code itself, about language. So everything we're arguing about is a nothing burger, and there's no meaning behind it whatsoever. There's no opinions at all, because all we're saying is arguing about words. So yeah. Sounds like you guys are arguing words, not ideas. Yeah, exactly. Why does it have to mean woman? It doesn't have to. That's just the definition that's used. That's the definition that's used, so that's the definition that I take. That's what lesbian means to me. I don't know why I would change it for no reason. For your opinion, it does? Yeah. I guess you could say that. Why not change it? Because otherwise you just lose the meaning of a word. What's wrong with that? That now it doesn't make any sense. The word doesn't mean anything anymore. Because the word lesbian is woman who likes women, right? So if you change it so that it doesn't need to be a woman, then the word just became heterosexual. So just delete the word, you know? Kind of my stance on it. Hello, Caster. Like, I feel like it's hard to navigate life if, like, every word you get to make your own, your own definition of, when literally the whole point of language is to have a code so that everyone can not argue about the words themselves and instead argue about issues, right? So when you have people that come in and say, like, well, I have my opinion on this word and you're using it right, then everything in life just becomes a nothing burger, right? It's like saying, well, Wawa, you just used the word definition in your last message there. Definition to me is a word that brings up trauma about my dead family that got nuked in the 90s. I don't fucking know what I'm saying. And that's what it is by definition. Anyone that says that word is actually trying to violate my human rights. Dunzo. My definition is female person who likes female presenting persons. Okay, so you just made it about sex instead of gender. I see. I don't know, I thought the whole point of, like, trans people, right? If I'm a trans woman, it's that I wish I was born female, pretty much, right? Like, sure, I'm theoretically male, but I really wish I wasn't, because it gave me all of these problems. So, I don't know. Like, I never thought it was about sex. It's more about gender. That's why those people can change and feel at home, is because of gender, not sex. Sex is the issue. Sex is what makes them, you know, is what gives them gender dysphoria or whatever it's. So I wouldn't start from there, and I feel like it's more open-minded to start from gender, which is something that is more open-minded and anyone can take and apply. If that makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe a while before I can fix up my equipment again.
Alright, so we taking the political stream, I guess? Okay. Okay, but you're being closed-minded by saying a trans man can't be a lesbian? Yeah, because to me, when I say... I'm actually being closed-minded by saying the opposite of that to me. Because to me, when I say a trans man can't be... if I said a trans man can be a lesbian, I'm saying that that man is a woman. That's what I'm saying. So I feel that's closed-minded. You see what I mean? So yeah, there's two perspectives to be had. But yeah, you can say that about anything. And that's why it's like arguing about words is like, ugh. Because like, you say you're being closed-minded by saying a trans man can be a lesbian, but like, okay, well, you're being closed-minded for, by saying me, Jacob, can not, I don't fucking know, I can make 40 examples, but I'm sure any analogy will be complained about, so I won't bother actually. But like, my point is just that, you know, words, like honestly, words. I mean, that's not political. I think some people classify it as that. I'm not sure why, but I'd rather not take the chance, you know? It's sensitive topics that some people, wait, how do I do it? And yeah, the political thing in Twitch is politics and sensitive social issues, so yeah. It includes that, I guess. Yeah, no, it's called politics and sensitive social issues. Yeah, exactly, Alan. But that's not really the case, because Wawa doesn't think that. Because if I give a situation where I take sexes and I say, well, this person is this sex, this person is this sex, but yet they want to call themselves lesbian, Wawa would be okay with that, even if it doesn't fit. But for me, that makes the word lose meaning, and I don't know. So that's not really exactly Wawa's stance. But my stance would be that it's aligned with gender. I don't think Wawa's stance is that it's fully aligned with sex, though. Wawa's stance is more about like, so basically these words that are used to like label people, people get attached to those words, and then that emotional attachment to those words, like it has a meaning and makes it like have a deeper meaning outside of the definition. And if you still identify with the word enough, then you should be able to be labeled by it. But I don't like that line of thinking. Because I'll always logically explain things over emotionally explaining things. Because emotionally explaining things gives birth to things like Alan and I's mom, you know? That's emotional reasoning, you know? My mom uses emotional reasoning, and yeah, it's not cool. Other trans men can use the word lesbian because they have sufficient conditions to be called so. Okay, I mean that's a better argument than whatever you had before. Trans men can use the word lesbian because they can have sufficient conditions to be called so. So because the sex is female, then you would say it's like somewhat still. Yeah, I can. That makes way more sense than whatever you were saying before. I don't know if I've exactly like changed my definition for that though. Because basically your definition is two things at once, I guess.
Nicely
So you
put.
think like a woman or a female, basically, right? Attracted to a woman or a female. Kind of. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, same here, Alan. I find it weird, but apparently it's a big controversy recently. Or something. I don't know. Like trans men trying to call themselves like lesbians, and then some other trans men not agreeing with that and saying that they're not lesbians, obviously, because they're men or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
That needs work.
Let me run it down. Value of languages in communication. Yeah, it's a code. Language is the code to communicating. Like, if I put everyone in a project and we all use different programming languages, you know, this won't work. No. No, language is the code to communication. If you both don't have the same language, then communication is basically worthless. You know?
Rude? Sorry, Allfather said I'm supposed to head to Niflheim with your dad. I haven't seen him around, and I was wondering if you had any idea where he could be.
He wasn't with grandfather?
No.
I think I know where he might be. Follow me.
I, also wanted to talk to you about Heimdall.
Don't. Not here.
You're right.
Well, I think it's even more clear than that. They'd say, how can you be a lesbian? You're a man, right?
Later.
Do you think that's what most people would understand, Wawa? I really don't. I think a trans person, I think a trans man saying they're lesbian is
Back
like
in
the most
Valheim.
like counterintuitive thing. And like unless you know like the like about this specific controversy and you've like argued with Wawa with about it for some reason, you would think they're literally like being self-degrading and you'd fucking be confused and then you'd be like, wait, are they not trans anymore or something like that, you know?
I told you I'd help your mom understand how much becoming a Valkyrie meant to you. I wanted to, let you know that I meant it.
You didn't. And you're still alive?
I haven't yet, but I will. As soon as I come back.
There'll be plenty of time to get under her skin later. Thanks, Loki.
I disagree, Wawa. Not for me, at least. It's not in the back of my mind. I... Like, when I think about gay people, I think of them socially, not in the fucking bedroom. You know? Like, what? Because it's about how you appear socially, right? Y'all got beard and muscles or whatever, and you're hanging around together, then, you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if they're man and I don't know if they're gay. You know, I'm gonna assume they're man because that's what people do socially, right? I'm not gonna be like, well, actually, I have no judgment whatsoever on what these people may be because I have yet to see them in action in the bedroom. And then tell them to send me a clip or something. That's not what I would do. But I don't know. Yes, Wawa would consider that couple gay or straight. Who decides? The people. It would be that couple would decide whether they are straight or gay, whichever they identify better with. That's what I understand from Wawa's stance. Wawa can clarify.
Weapons aren't allowed inside. We'll have to check them.
Why?
Which basically breaks the point of language,
Come on. This
you
way.
know, allowing communication.
Come on. They're not gonna let you in otherwise.
Because the words are becoming like subjective and like meaningless, like
Look around.
labels that you just like almost like a
Here.
title in a video game. Like you just customize and put whatever you want, rather than like actually having a set meaning, right? Because now the person that you label the word with you know, well, they, you know, I don't know, it's kind of weird that you can fit straight and gay at the same time. But definitions, which are, they're supposed to be like opposite definitions, so. At that point, I'd rather advocate for creating new words, for sure. That's rude.
Through. I'm...
It's fine.
Hey, Thor. Seems like it might be a bad time, so... If you need a moment, I totally understand. No rush, but...
Right where I thought you'd be.
What are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't have brought her here.
What are you doing?
Relax.
Hello, Mel.
Did I say no rush? I meant we should get going, right? We don't want to keep the Allfather...
Quiet!
He's right. You should get going. Dad? Don't do this.
It's already done. Let it be known, the God of Thunder is good for two things. Killing giants and pissing me!
What?
Any man who disagrees will greet Mjolnir with its face.
I can't. This isn't you.
Thor... Hugin is...
I think that kind of cultural and like emotional attachment to words is like completely worthless, Wawa.
Quiet, boy.
It's like if we leave religion just to go to this kind of thing, like we're just looping back, in my opinion.
What? No, I... Oh, come on! No, I swear that really wasn't... That's enough!
Oh, I've missed this!
All words are subjective though? Somewhat. Like, that's just part of how learning language is. But the way you're raised and taught language is meant to be so that they're the least subjective possible, you know? So you grow and you get a better understanding of how the word is used and all of that as you go. And try to get the closest to whatever the consensus is, and then people just end up like agreeing on the word, you know? Which is why you can understand me when I'm speaking right now, you know? Like, sure, maybe there are some words that to you can be used differently or something like that, or like theoretically are like slightly different, but like you understand everything I'm speaking because I'm speaking with logical reasoning and not from an emotional standpoint. I'm not saying kill this guy because he made me mad, you know? I'm saying kill this guy because he deserves to die because, and then I list up the reasons. I don't know. Personally, I don't care what... Yeah, that's what I said to Wawa too. Like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. But like, if you had to like honestly ask me the question, like even if I had someone in my surroundings that used that word to refer to themselves, I don't give a shit. I'll respect it, and what I mean by respect it is like, I won't engage in any of like I won't like call you that necessarily, because I don't know, it would just feel like a lie to me, and I'm too honest to do that. Some people I know are very emotionally driven and will go as far as like, well, you know, being nice and respecting a person, but really all they're doing is lying. But I guess socially those people are lifted and they're seen as nice people, I know. So I'm probably a bad guy, but hey, here I am. But anyways, yeah, I wouldn't bother though, like I wouldn't interact in any way negatively or anything like that, obviously. But if you were to come to me and ask me and be like, Jacob, you need to be very honest. Am I lesbian while you're a man? I would say, well, no, you're a man. Yeah. That's about it though.
Get away from me! This place sucks!
Well, I'm gonna be more unhinged about this. So what Alan said, yeah, I understand what you mean, Wawa. I'm not emotionally attached to labels in that way, but I get it. I agree with that standpoint, but I'll go as far as saying being emotionally attached to such labels is objectively the wrong way to be. Like, the world would be better if such emotional attachment to labels didn't exist. It only does bad. And yeah, and I think it's not the other way around. Like, if you made it so that everyone is emotionally attached to labels, I think that would be better than what we currently have right now, but not the best, you know? But then if everyone was not emotionally attached to labels, I think that would be the best, right? So there's like, in a tier list, there's like, we're at the bottom right now, right? Where people disagree, I guess. Then second would come, everyone is emotionally attached to labels. And then top one is, to me, not even, sorry, I think you need probably not even high school reasoning to come to this conclusion. Like, what is the objectively like best thing for like no confusion, happiness, all of that, is that no one would have such attachment to such words. Because it just logically makes sense. So there's no adjustments needed for anyone. There's no nothing, and everyone's happy, you know? But obviously it's not like that. Some people are going to be attached to those words, but they shouldn't be. Definitely they shouldn't be. But I mean, you can't blame them though. But
I'm getting our weapons!
but you know, I think so everyone is autistic. You can call it bias, but I do think a lot of autistic characteristics make way more sense than what your average normal human being acts like. Yes. But you know, that's from an autistic perspective, so take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But I don't think that means being autistic. I don't think someone not being emotionally attached to a label makes them autistic. I think it just makes them logically driven rather than emotionally driven, and therefore just a better critical thinker, in my opinion. But I don't know. Well, not actually, that's inaccurate. That doesn't make you a better critical thinker, but just a less emotionally driven thinker. Yeah. Which is a good thing. There's value in not being so logical, only because other people are not that logical. If everyone was that logical, then that value wouldn't exist. That value is superficial. It's like the social value of like putting on a fake smile to make someone happy. That fake smile only has value because that person is stupid and likes seeing a fake smile, you understand? Like, that person expects and wants a fake smile from you. You give them, and then they're happy because they're too stupid, and they're happy by that social expectation being filled, right? If they had a logical brain, then that person that serves you at Tim Hortons wouldn't have to be judged just because they didn't smile, and actually that would make them seem probably way more human, because who would smile every time some stranger comes up at such a shit job? Stop lying, you know? Like, bruh, I don't know. I agree, but the breed of humans you're talking about has never existed and probably never will. Yeah, I mean, I know. Definitely not, but... I mean, the point I make was simply that, like, I think overall it would be better if no one was attached to emotionally attached to labels rather than if everyone was emotionally attached to labels. That was my point in the beginning. And that doesn't even mean everyone's emotionless. Like, what the fuck? There's so much to emotions that's not about labels. Labels gotta be like the stupidest thing you can connect emotions to, in my opinion. Like, you can be emotional about how you feel. You can be emotional about how others feel. You can be emotional about so many things. Being emotional about a fucking word to put in your Discord bio? Nah. Like, I do not like the idea of, like... entering a new age where people just, like, call themselves autistic for no reason. And then I'm here with actual tism. And there you go. That word just has no value anymore. You know? For example, I don't know. Categorization is good survival mechanism. What I'm saying is the thing in your brain that makes people like labels is the same thing that makes you good at math. Okay, but like, you can categorize logically, like, you know? Like, that doesn't mean you have an emotional attachment to the label, you know? Like, there is nothing, like, I would never say, Alan, I'm autistic because I really do feel autistic. And, you know, I wouldn't say that. I'm autistic because I was diagnosed with autism, you know? That's how I would say. I would never try and justify it emotionally. The reason why I'm autistic is because I am, period. I can't just say, well, I'm autistic because I have this emotional attachment to the word autistic and I've always wished to be autistic, and then I got tested and realized I wasn't. You know? No, but you can say I'm autistic and I'm proud to be, or sad. Yeah, but that's an emotional attachment to a label that is logically, logically put on, right? I think that's kind of still goofy, but way better than justifying a label by its emotional attachment. Do you understand? So saying, like, I'm autistic because I wish I was autistic and I feel autistic or whatever, or something like that, right? Because that has no value. That argument has no value, right? Which is why, like, something like earlier is kind of like icky for me when you're like, oh, well, that couple could either be gay or straight, right? Let's say it's a man and a woman. They could be straight, but they could be gay. It's up to them to decide. Like, that's kind of odd to me, you know? Because what if I don't want to be seen as autistic, right? What if I get super depressed for being seen as autistic? You think, like... You think I can get away from that label? Like, I can be like, well, I'm just not autistic anymore? Like, I think I'm still autistic no matter what. Like, people can adapt and not call me autistic because they know it bothers me. But, will I ever not be autistic just because I wish it? No. You know? So, you can act like so? Yeah, absolutely. That would be basic emotions that I'm all for, you know? Because the argument that we were having is not, should trans men be left alone if they call themselves lesbians? Which I would advocate. I would say yes, they should be left alone. Do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. as long as it doesn't bother anyone. The argument we were having is, can trans men be lesbian? That's different. You're saying they can be, right? So go to your previous message. You can act like so. That would be my answer, right? They can't be, but you can act like so. And that's what you should do if you're a good person, right? And if it's something they care about. If someone cares about something and is emotionally attached to it, you won't bother them about it because that's dumb. But does that mean it's real? No, you know? Yeah, that's kind of my stance. But yes, you can act like so, and that is probably the emotionally, socially acceptable thing to do. Act like what? Like what we were just saying. So like, I think you misread me. Okay, so the lesbian man will never not be lesbian. Wait, what? I mean, I would say a lesbian man doesn't exist in the first place. That would probably be my stance, but I would say that if that man calls themselves a lesbian, it's not something I would interfere with and try to fucking argue over. I'd let him be because he can do whatever he wants, right? But so I'm gonna act like so, as you said. You can act like so to be nice, to seem nice or whatever, to be socially more acceptable. But does that mean that it is? No, you know? You said you are autistic and never not be... I don't know what you're typing. You said you are autistic and never not be autistic. What does that mean? Yeah, so then he was a lesbian, not anymore, Walla. Yeah, what Mel said. That is the logically... and could never not be. No, but you said you're autistic and never could not be autistic. Yeah, that's correct. I think. I'm saying that, like, basically, just because if I had an emotionally, if I have an emotional attachment to the label of autistic, that doesn't justify the autism, right? So you can't go to the so when I went to the psychologist, the neuropsychologist, right? I didn't say this, but let's say I went to the neuropsychologist. I said, I feel autistic. She doesn't fucking stamp it and boom, die. Like, that's not how it works. We still go through tests because logical reasoning prevails over, you know? So the emotional attachment to a label isn't enough to justify like skipping the definition of the word and just applying it, basically. He was never, but he thought he was because he did not know he was trans, so he still is a lesbian. I don't know why you would still be a lesbian, because he's this is like if there was a cure for autism. If I get cured of my autism, there isn't such a thing, but if there was, if I get cured of my autism, I wouldn't be autistic anymore. Could I have an emotional attachment to the label and miss being called so and tell people to call me so for some reason? Sure, absolutely. Act as if, you know, act like it is. But is it? No, I'm not autistic anymore. I've been cured, right? So that's like my thoughts. Check out Cure Reveal stream. Honestly, I don't want to be a normie. Real. Being lesbian is like a symptom of being a man. I have no clue what that means. My neurons exploded on that one. If you're autistic, could you say you have some autistic symptoms? What? I mean, it's not that you could say, you would say. Because if you didn't have any autistic symptoms, then you wouldn't be autistic. Because you need autistic symptoms to be diagnosed. If you're autistic and have no signs to show that you're autistic, then even the neuropsychologist wouldn't be able to label you autistic, and therefore you wouldn't be autistic in the first place. Or not autistic anymore, I meant. Okay, I just did that whole line of reasoning for no reason. Wait. If you're autistic, you still say you have... Wait. Oh, if you're not autistic anymore, could you still say you have some autistic symptoms? Well, autistic symptoms puts the label on the word symptoms, not on you. So yes, that would be fine. Plenty of neurotypical people have autistic symptoms. Sure, that doesn't make them autistic though, but yes. I think that's different because you're using autistic as a label for the word symptom and not for the subject who is the person, right? When I was younger, I was myopic. I got laser surgery, therefore I'm not myopic anymore. True. Plenty of people are lesbians. Doesn't make them women. If we disagree on the definition, then I mean, yeah, if your definition of lesbian doesn't have the requirement to be a woman, then yeah, that'd be correct in your way of logically thinking. But the common language that people have made is that, and the code, the code for the word lesbian is inherently woman that likes woman. I'm pretty sure that's just like what the word is used for, what it means to people. It's like, you know. So I'd like, I think like another word makes more sense probably, like Alan said. And I understand that if you are a girl and you are lesbian, right, like other girls, and then you transition and become a man, then yes, absolutely, you might still be attached to that lesbian label. You might still feel at home with that term, right? You might still have an emotional attachment to it or whatever. So people can act as if, you can make people act as if, they might be annoyed, I don't know, but you can, sure. Or you can act yourself as if, but are you? Well, do you fit the definition? No, not anymore. So, you know? Aw, shit. Wasn't listening to you, what you said, JJ. So I said, if you were a girl, okay, you better be listening, okay? Don't pay attention to the other fellows in chat. If you are a girl and you like other girls, you are lesbian. Then you grow with that label. Let's say something that's important to you. It makes you feel at home. It makes you feel whatever, right? Oh my god, fucking Wawa is getting distracted by chat messages. I just said, listen to me. Okay, I'm gonna restart. It's okay. Stop, Alan. Stop. Stop it! Stop it! Okay. If you're a girl and you like other girls, right? And you are lesbian, maybe that term makes you feel at home, right? Maybe you're emotionally attached to it or whatever. You know, that kind of makes sense, you know? Like, I'm used to, like, by this point, I'd probably be used to being called autistic, you know? So it would probably feel some type of weird way. I don't think, to me, personally, I'd have any emotional attachment to it. I'd fucking adapt in, like, one day. It'd just be weird and I'd forget sometimes or something. But yeah, anyways. I understand that that person is gonna have, like, maybe an emotional attachment to it or whatever, or that term is gonna make them feel at home. Maybe even if they transition to being a man, right? So they were a lesbian all their life, let's say. They transitioned to being a man. They still feel at home with that term or whatever. So sure, other people and themselves can act as if that was the case, as if they were still a lesbian. They can still refer, or you know, whatever. But so act as if, right? But is it? You know, are they still a lesbian? No. Now, does that mean they're kicked out of this group? Absolutely not. I think if you think of lesbian as a community or a family or whatever the hell, I don't think transitioning to a man makes you get kicked out. Like, I don't think the prerequisites of hanging out with people should be a fucking label. I think that's weird. I don't think you should feel kicked out of a community or kicked out of a group or kicked out of anything just because, oh, you don't fit the description anymore. But are you that thing anymore? No, you're not. I don't think that means you're fucking kicked out of the world and like you have no value in the, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's what I think though. So that's my thoughts, you know? Cause then, yeah. Good night. I'm running out of saliva.
You could be helping more, don't you think?
Drinking too much.
Seriously?
So I think there's history of trans men saying there are lesbians before trans men were a socially acceptable thing. Yeah, there's also a history of white people using the N-word. Yes, nuclear. Nissan. But yeah, I mean, that backs up again your thing of like emotional attachment or cultural attachment or whatever. So yeah, that makes sense. But, you know, still. My point back to that would be the same, you know, so I won't repeat myself. But if your definition, I don't know why you would apply that definition and why it would be superior to just language, or whatever. But if you're in your own world and in that world, in your dictionary, right? If that is the definition of lesbian, then yeah, your logical, there's nothing wrong about your logical reasoning. We just disagree on the base meaning, right? From that word, your logical reasoning isn't bad. You just, you know, someone actually got my joke. Me? I mean, that was easy to get. There's just the N at the beginning. But yeah, I guess I'm pretty stupid sometimes. You know, thanks for bringing this up, to be honest, Wawa. Look at us now. I'm like PewDiePie over here. Okay, but then we should argue why you think my definition is worse than yours and holds less value. Because my definition comes from the code to communication called language. And your definition comes out of your brain. And Reddit, probably. And a few people getting up and being like, yeah, I'm emotionally attached to this word, so call me this word. Like, so it comes from like people getting up and being like, yeah, we're all emotionally attached to this word together, therefore, you know, but like, just create your own word or something. Like, I don't know. Oh yeah, but then they wouldn't be emotionally attached to it anymore, so I don't know, man. I mean, my definition comes from human behavior. Yeah, your definition enables emotional attachment to those things, I guess. It's how dictionaries make definitions. No, it's that Trump said the N-word was nuclear today. Oh, damn. I mean, my definition comes from human behavior, which is how dictionaries make definitions. Yeah, but like, you realize you're pretty much alone in this. Like Alan said earlier, 99% of people would be confused by the statement. Right? 99%. That's a huge majority. And language is meant to be a code for everyone to understand each other. Right? So... But I don't know. Trump should write the dictionary. He's a genius. I don't know about that. So yeah, it's just a problem of like understanding each other. Now, if you want to talk about like theoretically, if you could put like definitions into like a machine and it tells you how good of a score you get, like, oh, this definition is objectively way better, then yeah, I don't fucking know what the variables to measure how good a definition is would be, because yeah, that makes no sense. You need like an objectively true definition or something like that, and that probably, you know, you'd need like an objective truth, and that doesn't exist. So such a machine wouldn't even make sense, right? There's no definition that is gooder than another one. But the point of definitions is for language to, you know, to be able to communicate together. I mean, some people disagree with trans people being the gender they are, because they define women as female humans. Yeah. That is true. So why should we take the one that accepts trans women? That's an insane take. You out of everyone would ask this. Alright, let me think about this. Some people disagree with trans people being the gender they are because they define women as female humans. So why should we take the one that accepts trans women? So I think in the case of like those definitions, I spawned in and both definitions were used, right? So like, so woman was both used for female adult and that other and trans people, right? And I think you should default to using whichever is the best definition. And here, the definition actually has value because it makes people happy or it makes them feel terrible. And you'd rather, I'd rather people not feel terrible. So I'd rather take the more open-minded version of woman. Does that make sense? And plus, there's literal logical reasoning behind it. It's not because people aren't going around screaming they're females. Because now I'd have a problem with that. No, it's gender. It's something entirely different. It has its own definition. It all makes sense logically, right? You know what I mean? Saying that men can be lesbian is better because that accepts people. Yeah, but there's no logical reasoning behind that. The logical reasoning behind men being able to transition into being women is because there's gender. There's gender and sex. Gender and sex are separate, right? And that's you know, that's something. So what is your point? What are you saying? Are you saying that sexuality and sexuality are separate? Like it just doesn't make sense. Like I don't understand. In my opinion, it diminishes the value of the word lesbian since it makes it synonymous with words it wasn't synonymous with before. True. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, there's no logical reasoning behind it. It's all emotional, all cultural or whatever. It's all so that those people feel better. That's not the reasoning for trans people. Like, I wasn't like, like gender and sex are separate, so I wasn't. It's not like it's different than if those people were saying they're female, right? But they're not. They're saying they're women, which is like you can logically reason that because that's gender, and gender is different from sex, right? But yeah, if they said they were female and they like meant it like in the most literal way, and then they would say, Jacob, do you agree that I'm a female? I would say no, because logically speaking, that is not right, right? Hey, some people don't think sex and gender are different things. Sure, but I think those people are wrong because they can logically be disproven with simple logical reasoning. Cause like it's something that can like literally it's something that can like literally be like half proven by some life experience that anyone's had, which is the classic. You see someone from the back, they got long hair. You say, girl, and then they turn around and they're a dude. Ooh, you know? So that means that that person, if they dressed like a girl enough, you would just keep calling them a girl. And they would just be a girl to you. What they have in their pants actually doesn't matter. You know? Like, I don't see the point of like, I don't see the point of like, if something can become a social truth, right? Then just make it a truth, you know what I mean? So if someone is perceived as a girl by everyone, why should they not be a girl, right? Does that make sense? But yeah. I'm not making the opposite argument. I don't even know if I was responding to you. I'm just talking. I'm not making the opposite argument to you either. Sorry if I sound violent or something. In sexual attraction, what someone has in their pants does matter, though. Sometimes. The goal of words is provided valuable communication. Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, I agree, Alan. Mm-mm-mm. Hold on, I'm reading like a billion things that I missed. I think for my environment personally and my experience, I would say like the trans thing, like, is a trans woman a woman or whatever or something like that. Like, I know some people think yes, some people think no. But yeah, for me, I would like to think that's probably a 50-50, but yeah, that's an assumption for me. But I don't, it's not, like there's not like a full like clear majority. There's no 99%, but I do feel like one definition is just better. So, yeah, you know. And it really doesn't matter because the people used it's not even like it's not even evil or anything because the people have different like words too. Like they use the words trans and the word cis. So if those people had problems being like grouped in or whatever, because I'm sure some people are like, I'm a real woman. How does this get to be here? Well, you're a cis woman and they're a trans woman. There you go. There's your separation. And then they go, ah, thank God. Or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah. So like it just feels like a better, I don't know. Yeah. You wouldn't respect someone's pronouns unless they had sex reassignment surgery? Some people think like that. I think doing or not doing that is like almost not even logical reasoning at some point. I feel like there's a personality trait over it because there is an awkwardness factor to it, you know? If a person is like not fully transitioned and they really look like a certain gender and then you call them the other thing in a social setting, you know, you might feel awkward because other people might hear, or you might feel awkward yourself because you feel weird saying that or whatever. So I think some people are just so shy that they can't bear it, and it's not even that they're like naturally like logically evil driven. It's just that it's very awkward and very unusual, and some people just can't be bothered. So they're like, you know, until you look like what you say you are, then I'll refer to you as that. I try it. I try to be nice. Yeah, fire convo. Dude, I did not do anything this stream. I'm actually doing a whole bunch of nothing.
Dead. They can't really die again.
Never beating this game. It's all your fault. To be honest, Mel, Wawa, I don't even know what, I can't hop in and help. I don't even know what the subject of your conversation is. Like, I don't know what the root is. Like, what is each side trying to prove right now? And why? Do you guys even know anymore?
if you started again? Right?
Yeah, here's interesting stuff. I just tend to use words and definitions that accept/refrain from harming people the most I can, and I personally don't care if I get someone confused by saying trans men can be lesbian. If anything, I just give them my definitions and that's it. I mean, sure, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just like the word doesn't mean anything, and people are not gonna like listen to your definitions and go, oh, all right. And the people that do go like that are being sarcastic, and in their mind they're going like, well, that's a weird person, and then walking away most likely. So I mean, I don't think socially the repercussions are very like nice on you, but if you don't care, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As long as you don't walk up to people and like shoot them, I don't think there's anything wrong with what you say, really. You could even go up to a person and say, I'm racist, and then walk away. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because you didn't really do anything bad. Well, you're racist, that's bad, but you were racist before you made that statement anyways, so you saying that statement doesn't do anything, right? As long as you go into the conversation in good faith, yeah. We're talking about if sexual attraction is about what's in people's pants. It is for some people, it isn't for some others. I don't think it's that big of a convo to have. Also, I was not placed in a situation where I fell for someone that was trans, so it's hard to tell if I would go for it or not. True, true. But yeah, I think that just depends for people. I would say in average, it probably does matter. I don't know about what you said though. We're talking about if sexual attraction is about what's in people's pants. If it's one of the things that it's about, yeah, sure. Surely. For most people, it's one of the things that is a factor, yeah. I would say so. Probably a good idea to reveal to potential partners what your junk is if it doesn't conform with what people might expect from your gender expression. True. Yeah, that's why some people probably have problems. I think some trans people really want to like you know, blend in or whatever. So they like get mad at people for that, but like, man, you know, some people they do care. Some people it is a factor for them, the genitals or whatever. So like I feel like you have to make it clear if like if your gender screams the opposite, you know? Because most people will assume a girl has girl things and a boy has boy things, you know? Because that's just how the average is, so yeah. Sad reality, but yeah. It's not a first date thing? I would say it. I would say it is. I would say it's before a first date thing. Because if someone's requirements is you having a certain genital, then what's the point of even, you know, like going around with it for this long? Just make it clear right at the beginning, and then, if they don't mind, then you go forward, I think. Because I mean, I think otherwise you're just wasting time, but I mean, I don't know. I think the person would feel like they've been robbed their time, and I feel like you'd feel like you have wasted their time. Unless your goal is to successfully like emotionally manipulate them enough that they basically say like, well, that's not a requirement anymore. Actually, I like you enough that it doesn't matter anymore. But I don't know. Because safety? Wait. I'm not sure what that means. Are you saying that person could come and harm the person? Doesn't that even make it worse then if you go on a first date and then say that you're trans or whatever? Doesn't that just make it worse? I'm not sure. Cuz like if you make it clear right away, I don't see why that person would go search for your home and try and shoot you or some shit, right? If you manipulate them for 10 years and they're some crazy psycho and then you come out very late, then yeah, maybe they're fucking crazy and they do something. You don't want to go in there and say, hey, I'm trans and get assaulted. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm thinking too normal, but I guess if we think with this like possibility of anything bad, then I would be of this random stance that I will now show off on stream. Stay inside. Don't go outside, because outside you can get ran over by a car, shot by a gun, assaulted in every way possible at any time. You know, but I guess if we want to think with possibilities like that, then yeah, I don't know. Still, if you do a date and then say that information afterwards, if that person is a dangerous asshole, wouldn't that be even worse? No? You don't know the assault rates? I mean, I just know that someone who is psychopath enough to do assaults would probably assault someone that has annoyed them more, right? And the difference between someone saying in advance, before anything happens, what they have, and someone leading on someone, making them believe there's something, and then saying the unexpected at the last moment, then that person would be more pissed, no? Like Wawa. If I approached you and you said, I don't want to be friends, sorry. Okay, I move on. But maybe I'm an asylum freak, right? So I probably move on. Maybe there's a few timelines where I kill you because you didn't accept my friendship, right? Now, in the other timeline where we're friends for fucking 10 years, and then you say, oh, I was leading you on, manipulating you the whole time and just using you, and I'm actually not your friend. Now, if I'm an asylum freak like in the other timelines, I definitely kill you more times in these timelines, no? I don't know. That's just my thought. Maybe autism, though. Anyways. If you think they won't react, you don't tell them and run away. If you think they'll be fine, you tell them. It's that simple. Okay, so well, you're thinking on the first date again. You're making it sound like they're together, alone or something. But that would be a first date thing, right? I'm talking before first date. So it would be either through text or some public setting that they're both in at the moment, right? But if you don't want that type of unhinged thing to happen, usually you do it through text, probably. Also just less awkward, probably. But if you're scared of such things, just do it through text. Because I'm talking like before first date, right? People who are trying to be stealth is what we're mostly talking about. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, you mean like... You mean people that are in those situations, you're saying that one of the factors might be that they're scared that they might be assaulted or something like that. Oh yeah, yeah, that's totally valid. Yeah, that makes sense. Everyone has their fears, and it's not even for me or anyone to say whether those fears are like valid or invalid. It's a fear, so they can't really control it. But I think if possible, the right thing to do is to make it clear right at the beginning. But if you're in a situation where you can't do that at all, and your fear makes it so you won't say that because you're scared of being assaulted, then yeah, that's totally justified. Being stealth just means live your life. Oh, okay, I totally misunderstood then. Oh, no, I didn't. Wait, did I answer correctly? I don't know. I was talking about genitals, so I don't know. I think that's a little different because maybe they would have gone through the surgery, but I don't know. You understood, I think? Yeah, my answer still makes sense. I still stand by what I said. Okay, bro, fucking died.
Grab his arms. Let's get him out of here.
It's a good fight.
Bro is clapped. Yo, I actually did nothing. I actually did one fight. I'm actually never finishing this game. Alan's right.
No.
And it's so hot in my room, I have to stop streaming soon. One hundo. Why Thor fat and drunk? Because it's lore accurate.
I'm strong, but
I
you
think.
gotta help me out here. Come on, it's not that far.
Oh, I'm playing! I'm so fucking dumb. How interactive. Holding the S key. I really do appreciate it. Thanks, game, for letting me be part of such a thing. How does the girl look like she's struggling so much, but Atreus is like chilling? Like, I guess she's more in front. She's taking more of the weight. Atreus is doing a whole bunch of nothing right now. Like, what the fuck? Because he's clearly weighted in onto the left side. Atreus is literally doing nothing. Bro. Okay, not anymore. Now he's actually... Okay. Behold, the god of thunder.
Get up.
Thrudy.
You are going to Niflheim with Loki. Allfather's orders. You have to get up.
I know you're disappointed.
Disappointed? No. That was a glorious fight. You can't even say you're sorry this time, can you? Because what's one more broken promise? Grandfather treated you like crap. You were struggling. I get it. But you can't just...
Man, I don't understand this emotional moment. That's unfortunate.
We're here for you.
I forgot the reference. I don't know what they're talking about.
Mom and I are here for you. Even when you're here. We love you. You know that. I just thought this was behind us.
I fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Ooh. To the wall?
Can I get you a water or something?
You again?
He's just not drunk anymore, I guess.
Let's make this quick.
You in a hurry to get back to Asgard?
Just get us to that masterpiece.
Alright. Alright.
Was it worth it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fine, but I hope you know what seeing you like that did to her.
I was drunk, not blind.
Well, this isn't the way.
This ain't a treasure.
Yes, it is. Everyone knows you work better while drunk.
It's part of
Pop.
Niflheim is way different than the maze I saw a few winters ago.
If you came through Tyr's temple,
Ooh, I'm never drunk.
the mist around Ivaldi's workshop is straight up poison.
I don't know where I should go first. Probably here. Yay. Yo, what do you guys think my drunk streak is? My no drunk streak is? How long do you think I can make it without drinking alcohol? Like ever getting drunk, I guess. Let's say ever getting drunk in case that maybe my maybe someone gives me a sip or something like that. For a taste or something. I think that might have already happened with my father, like, very long ago. I'm not sure, though. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'll drunk you. What's it called? Okay, that's fucked up. I know what you're trying to say. Why are you guys saying forever? Why do you think that? Because you're a honest man who just follows his own words and... Wow. Thanks, guys. Honestly. I know, I mean, I'm just built like that. Self-glaze.
This one's
Wait, what do you mean it won't work? Why wouldn't it work? Oh. Oh yeah, that definitely wouldn't work. Even then, is it even worth it? In that scenario, if you did that, Wawa, I would be incredibly... It would be over, honestly. That's just fucked up morally, right? So, I mean... Say bye-bye to anything. Say bye-bye to anything we ever had. I hate practical jokes, you know? Verbal jokes are funny. Divorce? Okay, that's fucking crazy. Friendship, divorce, okay. But yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, I hate practical jokes. Like, you know, like friends who like are like, oh, we're friends, so it's funny for me to pull down your pants in public or some shit like that. Yeah. Those types of jokes.
Hey,
Some pranks are funny. If they're like... If they're harmless, maybe. Like, what could be a prank? I don't know. I don't know. Most I wouldn't find funny, honestly. I find fucking nothing funny, to be honest. Most of my laughs are like literal like coping like social mechanism. I also laugh and smile most when I'm awkward, which is like completely like counterintuitive. So most people are like, oh guys, look, Jacob is happy or whatever, but actually I want to kill myself in that moment. That's all that's happening, right? In game, you know? Yeah. You know, in rough. Don't get any like weird ideas. Don't try and summon memories to your head and be like, oh my god, he hated me in that moment or anything like that. Don't think about it too hard. But, you know. Yeah. But it is one of my like coping mechanism. And for the smile especially. Like if I smile, it's because I'm awkward most of the time. I don't even know if I smiled from being happy. Well, what is being happy? Guys, what is happiness? I don't know. I'll make you cry, then you'll be happy. Huh? Why? That makes no sense. What? Oh, smile equals sad, so cry equal happy. Fire. Smile doesn't equal sad though, it equals awkward. Although awkward is usually sad, I guess. Sad situation to be in. I don't know if it equals to me being sad though, but...
Over these guys straight to the mat.
You know, I probably safe here. I'm sorry guys, literally, I didn't do anything today, but my excuse is you guys distracted me and I need to end here, or at least close the game here, because I'm burning. My room is burning. My room is burning. It's so hot outside, it's so hot inside. It's terrible. And this is when I decide to enter my workout era, by the way. Jesus. Look at Reddit threads on stream. You're ill. You are ill. You are mental. Link one? Oh, hell no. I will look at it. What is that? I'm going on there. Am I the asshole? Oh. My husband will invite his family and friends over without telling me until that day. He then expects me to clean, run to the store, and prep/cook everything. I finally just decided to leave the house the last time he told me because I only had 4 hours till their arrival. He cancelled. Yeah, no. Kill him. Probably. Am I the... Okay, some people are like... Dude, some people are so like... ego-driven, it's insane. This person says, am I the asshole for shutting someone down when they tried to talk to me at the gym? You're gonna tell me that you're genuinely going to Reddit and actually asking yourself that? No, you know that everyone's gonna back you up and you're just trying to fucking fuel yourself with some shit. Like, am I the asshole for shutting someone down when they tried to me at the gym? So you're implying that someone could answer you. No, you're not the asshole. Actually, if someone comes up to you and asks you out, you should accept and you don't have the right to refuse. Like, no one's gonna say that. What the fuck kind of post is it? Man. People are fucking stupid, man. Probably an emote, right? Probably an emote of someone with a dent. Yep, there. I'm so freaking smart. I'm so freaking smart. I can read. Oh, I'm late. It's fine. I just turned off the game because my room is burning. I'm dying. Is it hot at your house? Am I the asshole for not dating the first person that asked me? Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's scroll some more. Like some of these. Oh my god, bro. Am I the asshole for refusing to share my snacks on vacation? Who has this kind of situation happen to them and is like, yo, let me turn to Reddit? Like, you obviously just want people to side with you or something. I don't get it. Some of these are just brain dead. Like they act as if it was like a very like very like sophisticated like problem, like philosophical, like oh my god, am I wrong? You know, am I the asshole? I don't know. Like, damn. Like I went to McDonald's and I didn't hold the door for 20 people before going in. I only held the door for the one person behind me because I really felt like eating. Like, am I the asshole for not staying 20 minutes at the door? Like, damn, let me go ask Reddit. What a nothing burger. And they, like, if you paint it a certain way, you know that you don't actually want to, like, look at this guy. Am I the asshole for enforcing basic boundaries on my daughter's sleepover? Okay. So this guy's just painting the whole narrative. So this guy's clearly not wanting to learn. Man, I hate this subreddit. FM. Am I the asshole for refusing to share my birthday with my stepmother? What does that even mean? Okay, that is too long. I'm not reading that. Thanks. Am I the asshole for killing my child? Well, you see, this one is kind of... Actually, there's two sides. So let's start by analyzing the first one. Real. Am I the asshole for not disclosing that I am not Christian? Okay. I did a commissioned art piece with Christian iconography, a beautiful ornate cross, a saint, and scripture in calligraphy. The client was happy with my work, paid me, and then asked me what my favorite scripture was. I was honest and just said, oh, I don't really have one because I'm not a Christian, and wouldn't really know which ones I'd like. He became upset and told me that he felt lied to, because I have posted artwork of Christian subjects before. He assumed that I would be Christian. He said the art doesn't hold the same spiritual value. Holy fuck. What a delinquent. Because it wasn't made with faithful intention. What the fuck? What was it made with then? I was kind of unsure of what to say. I said, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I do artwork for everyone. And I am open to doing Christian artwork because it's for the client, not me. Should I be disclosing if I don't share a certain faith when commissioned to do artwork for it? Am I the asshole? Absolutely not, bro. Fuck that guy. He deserves to lose money, and I hope he gets scammed and buys more Christian works from non-Christian artists, and then cries about it 10 times. Waste your money. It's the price of religion. Am I the asshole for distracting Wawa while Jacob is repeating the same shit for the 4th time? Yes. Am I an asshole for reporting a crying baby to HR? I can't. Actual post. Am I the asshole for refusing to dress a certain way at a funeral for it cost money? I'm assuming they mean because it costs money. Yeah, that's some social shit. You know, at least you went to the funeral. So, big up you, to be honest. You could Fortnite emote at a funeral, and I think it's fine if it's in good faith, honestly. I don't really care. I don't see how that's any different from praying, right? Like, if you hit the gritty on your grandma's grave, if that has meaning to you, right? If that's like praying to you, fucking hit it. Okay, maybe not, but yeah. My mom poured coffee on my grandmother's grave when we were burying her. Bro, what? Damn, that sounds weird. Wait, what? Okay, this one is insane, bro. Am I the asshole for like, look at the way this person is painting themselves in the title. Am I the asshole for giving medical advice? I guess they're just trying to make the fucking thing short, but man, that is terrible. Like, yes, sir, you are the asshole for giving medical advice. That's something no one should do. In fact, you should let all of your beloved ones fucking die and perish. And you should even tell them to stay in their comfort zone. And if that comfort zone means they should die, then you should push them to die, because that's basically what their habits are already rooting for in their lifestyle. So never give medical advice. Give sewer slide advice. Yeah. We were trying to lighten the mood and saying like, oh, she's probably cold because it was windy and stuff, and she poured the rest of her coffee and said here and said, oh, sorry, it's not black coffee. That's wild, Wawa. Yeah, what the fuck? That's pretty crazy. Okay. What is MIL? Am I the asshole for refusing to name our child after my MIL? Mother-in-law? Mother-in-law? Am I the asshole for refusing to name our child after my mother-in-law? Absolutely not, bro. That's some unhinged shit, bro. Being named after someone, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anyone who's named after someone. Like, I mean, I guess technically, theoretically, everyone's named after someone. But what I mean is like, when parents are like, that's their reasoning. It's like, yo, my reasoning for calling you Jacob, it's not that I felt like you were Jacob or anything like that. No, I didn't give a shit. Your grandpa, I really liked him. His name was Jacob. I'm fucking reincarnating him in your body. I don't care what you think. Crazy shit. Plans for people changing their names at fucking 18. Jacob Jr. Or like the junior stuff is even worse, right? Because then every time someone talks to you, you get to think about the fact that you don't have an original name and that you're just a fucking a product of someone else's existence rather than just your own person, you know. Crazy. Yeah, fucking extension of your dad. Yeah. Exactly. Dude, I cannot. These people don't have the right subreddit. They should go in some crazy story subreddit or something like that. What is this? Am I the asshole for locking the office fridge after someone kept stealing my lunch? Okay. Am I the asshole for calling the police on a brutal murderer? I wonder. I don't know. Did he have a good reason to murder them? I mean, I don't know that, so I should stay uninvolved, you know? Like, okay, I don't know. You don't have context. No, I know. That's my point. That's the point that I'm making, is that either the titles paint, like the person is painting themselves as someone good. So clearly, most of the titles are painting themselves as the winner in the situation, which means they aren't thinking of anything being wrong, and them putting the situation on Reddit is purely for fucking content farming or something, you know what I mean? They're not actually wondering if they're the asshole because they have a clear stance and think they're alright, right? But then for this one, I would disagree with you, actually. You say you don't have context. I don't think you need context for this. Unless they're painting it a certain way. It clearly says, locking the fridge after someone kept stealing my lunch. Stealing means they don't have the right, right? My lunch means it's their lunch, means they possess it. Stealing is basically a crime, right? They're locking the fridge for that crime not to happen. That seems like some basic toddler shit. Like, and if it's not, and I'm lacking context, well, then they didn't explain properly in the title. And they're lying, and they're painting to make themselves seem better. But yeah, I do understand. But I'm just mocking the titles, because most of this, I just read some of them that are like small enough, I guess. Well, they could have locked it and other people couldn't access the fridge. Oh, that's a good point. Maybe. Let's see. Probably, yeah. We share a communal kitchen, including one fridge. Over the past month, my lunch has been stolen 5 times. Blah, 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 blah. I mentioned it a couple times in group chat. Like, hey, someone's been taking my lunches, please stop. Everyone either ignored it or sent vague messages like, oh, that sucks. Or some people are the worst, but no one took responsibility. So I bought a mini fridge and put it under my desk. Nothing fancy. Just enough to hold my meal and a drink. I also put a little lock on it just for extra peace of mind. Since then, no more stolen lunches. Well, last Friday, one of my coworkers confronted me during lunch and said it was weird and selfish. Okay, yeah. So I was right. But your point was actually good. Yeah, it could have been that, totally. Yo, what's popping, Jer? There's a chat in my chat. Goodbye, Jacob1101. No, I'm farming Reddit threads. I'm not even trolling. Wait, maybe I should just show the screen. Hold up. Stewie. Okay. Yeah, I'm not there though. I'm donezo. Fire. Classic 2-hour talk show ending stream screen. True. First Jacob React content? I don't think it is. You white Reddit? True. I don't know how to do any of this. Alright, hold up. Okay. Did I do it? Sort by top of this month for better stories. Bro, is this the first one, bro? Let's read this one. Oh, I can't be bothered. You know me bothered. No, top of today, top of all time. Month? Okay, month. Sure. Okay, yeah, this is the fucking crazy one. Okay, wait. Let's read it all. The thing is, his family... Okay. My husband will invite his family and friends over without telling me until that day. He then expects me to clean, run to the store, and prep and cook everything. I finally just decided to leave the house the last time he told me because I only had 4 hours till the arrival. He fucking cancelled. Snore emoji. The thing is, his family is constantly judging and talking about each other. So when he says it doesn't matter, they don't care. I know and he knows he's full of it. Okay, I don't understand what she's saying. Let me reread that. The thing is, his family is constantly judging and talking about each other. So when he says, it doesn't matter, they don't care, I know and he knows he's full of it. Okay, I didn't understand that. Let me reread that. The thing is, his family is constantly judging and talking about each other. So when he says, it doesn't matter, they don't care, I know and he knows he's full of it. Yeah, okay, I don't understand that, even after 3 times reading. Anyways, also, it's... Yo, what is she talking about? Yo, I can't get the correlation between this and the title. They're saying that they both know he's lying. The thing is, his family is constantly judging and talking about each other. They don't care about what? That time he didn't expect me to clean and run to the... I finally just decided to leave. Oh, yo, why doesn't she fucking mention that snore emoji? Okay. I mean, it's not even about that, because even if the friends didn't care, if she cares, you know, maybe she cares. You think about that? Little husband boy? Also, it's not just studying the house. We are not regularly. It's not just studying. We're not regularly stocked in foods or drinks to have people over. When I got home, I asked what he was planning on having for dinner, and he responded, "I don't know. I guess it's good that they aren't coming over anymore." Now he is sulking, saying I am the problem because I can't go with the flow. Bro, I have told him multiple times I just need a couple days notice to get things in order, but he insists that I'm just difficult, uptight, and uncooperative. Dude. Just leave that guy, honestly. Jesus. What is NTA? Not the asshole, okay. Yeah, I mean, no shit. I would feel cringe putting that at the top of my post. Like, I wouldn't even say NTA. Like, I would feel stupid saying that. Because it's so obvious. Anyways, am I the asshole for ordering alcohol? Okay. Currently on a solo trip in whatever this is, all inclusive to save having to look for places to eat by myself. The hotel has club style seating, meaning that all tables are tables of 8 and people get sat together. Apparently, it's to encourage a sense of community and conversation. Last night I was seated first and had a glass of wine. A family of 5 got seated at my table, 2 adults and 3 children. The mother turned to me and said, "We do not wish to expose our children to women drinking alcohol." What a fucking robot sentence, holy fuck. I smiled and said perhaps they should ask to move tables if it was an issue, but I would be drinking the wine. They noticed I was on my own and made passive-aggressive comments about this. The fuck? Oh, poor children, man. It's over. I went up to get food, and on return, the wine had disappeared. A waiter came over and asked to see my wristband for the all-inclusive and said the family had told them I was underage and must have sneaked away from my parents. He was very apologetic and returned with a fresh glass of wine just as the family came back with their food. Am I the asshole for then requesting the waiter brought me the full bottle along with a couple of shots for vodka? Okay. The family stormed out the restaurant when I drank the shots as they arrived at the table. Okay. This is a weird person. I wouldn't say they're the asshole, but this person is kind of a weirdo, honestly. That's a funny reaction. I guess I justified though. Definitely not the asshole though. Why weird? Because they're fighting back. Like, if you read this closely, they're basically saying, well, that's what I get from it, at least, is that because this family was being critical of them, they then like doubled down and ordered way more alcohol than they would have, and purposefully did what annoyed the other people, which I would say is not cool. But what annoyed the other people in the first place is kind of dumb. So I mean, it's like they're not in the wrong. Because you get to do whatever you want. So as long as it doesn't, it isn't fucking violating anyone. I'd do the same. No, you weren't. You would not do the same. You're way too shy, bro. You wish you'd do the same though. Maybe, yeah. I wouldn't. I don't think that's nice. I wouldn't do that. Oh yeah, I forgot that part. Yeah, they did lie. Yeah, that's true. They did lie. Okay, yeah, they're kind of meanies. I mean, either way, she not the asshole, but yeah. Yeah, that's just weird. I don't know. I don't know if I'd do that still. I don't think someone doing a wrong should like justify you being a wrong unless there's like so much emotion to it. Like if you get hit in the face, then adrenaline, emotion or whatever fucking hit back, right? Boom. But like with this kind of situation, I feel like if you have the time to get emotion, I feel like you need to chill a little bit. But I don't know. Everyone has their personality, I guess. For me, I'd just be like, huh? Yeah, well, you guys are weird. I'll do whatever I was gonna do. I'm not gonna try and purposefully annoy you even more. because then that would probably annoy me. But I guess some people are satisfied by seeing those people annoyed, which I understand. I do understand, to be honest. They deserve it. Am I the asshole for taking unnecessary money out of my daughter's pocket? What? Okay. Basically, I have a daughter from a previous marriage. My wife, Sasha, the Pokemon trainer, has a son of the same age, Mark. Mark doesn't stay with us that often. He prefers to stay with his bio dad. That being said, when he is here, I find Mark to be a pretty good kid, polite and respectful. His dad decided to take a trip for work in the last few weeks of school, so Mark's here for a bit. He's out of the house most of the time and doesn't take up much space. He does get kind of grumpy when there's too much going on around him, especially noise. Yo. But for that, his favorite thing are these expensive noise-canceling headphones, which he always has with him, a present from his dad. Emily's school has already finished, so she's home. The problem is that the room Mark is sometimes has miscellaneous items put in when he's not here, and therefore Emily seems to think it's fair game to go through his stuff. Wait, Emily's school has already finished, so she's home. The problem is that the room Mark is... Eh? Mark is a room? Mark is a room now? I thought Mark was a boy. I guess Mark turned into a room. Okay, yeah, the problem is that the room Mark is in sometimes has miscellaneous items put in it, I guess, when he's not here. And therefore, Emily seems to think it's fair game to go through his stuff. I've told her to stop, but Sasha hasn't been taking it seriously, in my opinion. I think that most of Mark's stuff is easy to replace. The big problem happened when Mark accidentally left his headphones in his room and Emily accidentally snapped them. Snapped? Like broke them? Mark found out when he came from school and flipped. He shouted at her, saying she was spoiled without anything to back it up. Loud enough that my wife and I heard it from the other room. Sasha wanted me to calm things down, which I did, but I also told Emily she's replacing them. Thing is, Mark's dad offered to have someone get him a new pair immediately, and that it wasn't a problem. I said Emily would pay him back, and I'm staying with it. Emily and Sasha think that's unfair since Mark's dad can afford to buy 10 more. But I don't think you get to break someone's stuff and not pay for it. Those aren't the values I was raised with or what I want my daughter. That being said, I do realize in this case it's kind of unnecessary and there may be better ways for her to make it up to him. Am I the asshole? I don't think he's the asshole. With not the way he's painting it, at least. Because basically she's doing something that she knows is wrong. Depends if she did it on purpose or not. Wrong. Because being in the room in the first place was not allowed. They were saying not to be in the room, and she still was doing it. So she was already doing it on purpose. Being in the room is the purpose. You know. It's like if you trespass and then accidentally kill someone. Like, okay, maybe you didn't kill that person on purpose, but I mean, you were still trespassing, so there's a price to pay, you know? I don't know. I feel like that's the part that matters, not the actual breaking of the thing, you know? Also, this is true. I'm sorry, but there is no way a 16-year-old snap headphones accidentally, especially good quality noise cancelling ones. I think your daughter might have known exactly what she was doing. She probably knew the importance to him too. Maybe. Okay, I think that's kind of a stretch, honestly. I agreed with the first part, but yeah, I mean, it's just the way he sounds, though. The way he gives the story makes it sound like he's way more right, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't think she should pay him back if it's not a problem for his dad. but she has to make up for her mistake. That's just the way the dad is choosing to raise the kid, and that's I think that's very fair. She should make it up in another way? Yeah, maybe she could. True, true. What the fuck? Am I the asshole for throwing a cup of cold water on my naked husband? Yo, what the brick? Okay, no, you just clapped. I'm good. Wait. I see. Okay, anyways. Read out loud. I'm doing something. I don't know. I read in diagonal. I couldn't read out loud. But basically, it sounds like the guy has to do something every now and then so that the shower doesn't become hot. I guess. Doesn't become cold, but he keeps forgetting. So the wife keeps getting jump scared with cold water all the time. And eventually she got pissed because it's been 20 years. And she was just like, here, this is how it feels. And she threw a cup of water at him, I think. Yeah. Like the type of shit my parents argue over. Except less unhinged, but yeah. Am I the asshole for asking my partner to stop telling me to lower your volume? Sometimes when I get excited about a topic, I naturally start speaking louder than usual. Not shouting, just louder than normal conversation level. The thing is, I do not realize I'm doing it in the moment. When this happens, my partner will often interrupt me mid-sentence to ask me to lower my volume. I don't think they mean it in a rude way, and I understand that they probably just want the conversation to stay at a comfortable volume. That's fair. But every time it happens, I feel demoralized and a little self-conscious. I lose my enthusiasm and no longer feel like talking about the thing I was excited about. Even if they don't mean it harshly, it still feels dismissive and discouraging. I've tried to explain how it makes me feel, but they still keep interrupting me. Am I the asshole for wanting to them to stop interrupting me like that, or do I just need to accept that I should keep my volume in check, even if it's hard because I don't always realize I'm doing it? Yo, this is actually a good post. Honestly, he seems like he's just trying to be nice. Sad emoji. Depends how actually nice. How loud it actually is. Oh yeah, true. I think OP is being an asshole. Wait, what? Why? Do you not get that feeling? That feeling is so real, no? I'm like the least emotional person and I understand that feeling. Like imagine like being like happy to like share something and then you get shut down. They should understand that their partner is trying to help them. That totally depends on the way it's presented. And he's saying that it feels dismissive and discouraging. If it feels that way, it's because there's things that make it feel that way. It's not just like, I don't think this person is delusional. Like that other person has to be in on that behavior. That other person knows that makes him feel dismissive, and still they keep presenting that same way of saying thing, right? Not enough context. Well, they said yeah, I've tried to explain how it makes me feel, but they still keep interrupting me. They've said this. IP, be right back. Yeah, this is the most insane fucking thing that Wawa uses, by the way. That reads IP, be right back. Like basically, I'm going to the bathroom, be right back. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know, Alan. Don't ask me. What's popping, yogurt? You know, just scrolling some Reddit. Okay, maybe I'm done, to be honest. Kids these days, man, for real. Mighty asshole for sneaking out and causing my sister to lose her job. What the fuck kind of title is that? How can you make yourself look this bad? Why are you even on here? Man, some of these are fucking sad. Am I the asshole for not cooking fancier meals? Bro. Come on, man. They're trying their best, man. Jacob. Okay, yeah, I'm done for this shit. My brain is rotting. Okay, yeah, I'm donezo. Cool, I guess. That was very interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna head out now, guys. Insane content, pog. True. Maybe I should just log in every day. You know, read some Reddit threads. That's about it. Maybe that's where I belong. Honestly, probably. If I was a huge streamer, I'd probably become your average fucking random YouTuber who started gaming but then ends up fucking talking about everything. And then half of the planet would hate me and the other half would think I'm really cool. That sounds terrible, to be honest, but yeah. When is Head on Thirst gonna be ready, Jacob? Bro, I haven't played Ascension in like 2 weeks. I fell off. I'm out of the Minecraft phase right now. I need to force myself back on stream, but I'm trying to push to finish God of War. But then these guys fucking... They keep talking to me in chat, bro. Like, come on. Unbelievable, honestly. So then I have to pause my game and answer, and then I end up not even advancing in the game. So then I can never finish God of War, and then I can never go back to Minecraft. Ah, these shatters, man. Am I right? I will ban all chatters so you can finish the game in peace.
LLLLL.
LLLLL. Okay. I'm going, guys. Snore emoji. But yeah, yogurt. No promises. But it is my focus next time I get on, though. And you just reset my mind to it. I might just forget again tomorrow, but I don't know. You fucking keep begging me or some shit. But yeah, you did just reset my brain. Maybe I get on tomorrow if I have nothing to do. Maybe. Real. Okay. Bet? Alright. Cool. I like the positive mindset. Okay, Jacobo. Why though? Okay. Jacoby. Okay, bye guys. Bye guys. Bye guys. Bye guys. That's mean, Alan. Oh, is that an emote? Oh, that's an emote. Wait, what the fuck is that? Is that a Pepe B? Okay. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye.